Greetings and salutations, good friends, and welcome to Blades in Paradise. My name is Dr. Winston Thoreau, and I will be your guide to the perils and pleasures of our paradise amidst the post-apocalyptic Pacific Northwest. Now, we'll get to the chicanery and shenanigans momentarily, but before we do, allow me to deliver some news. Blades in Paradise is an actual play podcast run in John Harper's Blades in the Dark. We are proud to have been selected for the Evil Hat Games Creator Program. Bard Rock Network is sponsored by Dragon Master Games. Visit DragonMasterGames.com for all your CCG, TCG, TTRPG, and miniature game needs. If you enjoy the stories we tell, you can tip us on Ko-fi or visit us at patreon.com/BardRockCafe. By sponsoring the network, you not only help us provide an ever-expanding library of shows, but gain access to bonus content, the network Discord, exclusive booster game nights, and roles on our booster bonus table. Now, without further delay, allow me to introduce you to my cohorts Lizzie, Sterling, and Max, the crew of ESPN. Enjoy.
Blades in Paradise is a dystopian story intended for adults. These stories intentionally address challenging topics that might not be suitable for all ears. This campaign includes content warnings for gun violence, child endangerment, animal cruelty, unintentional misgendering of a non-binary person, substance use, and graphic descriptions of injuries, including the eyes. Listener discretion is advised.
Everything's okay. There are no problems. Welcome back to Glades in Paradise, the only podcast where the alligators are more scared of you than you are of them. I'm Jim, and I'll be your Blades buddy for this interlude with attitude. With me, as always, are my fearsome Floridians.
The leader of Vice, he's Fisher Price. I'm Paul. I'm playing the Leech, Fisher Price. Fun fact about Fisher this week. When Fisher was fired from the famous family, the last project that he worked on was a pheromone rhinovirus that basically changes the scent of a person. It was meant to be weaponized by making people have an atrocious smell that is so offensive that it actually hurts people to be around them. The final cocktail was used on Sloppy Joe. But the fun fact about... So that's the bonus fact, though. The fact about Fisher is when he was fired from the famous family, they gave him a more discreet one. That makes him have the slight musk of urine and cheap beer, so that he always smells like a homeless man, so that people are less inclined to believe the things he says.
I'm Queenie, and I'm playing Lane Danskin, the Lurk. And all of a sudden I have nothing for anything. She just prefers to be out with her ghost friends in the glades. What she's doing, well, we'll have to find out sometime.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I play Tiny Wildcard, the slide. Sower of Chaos, Shark of the Great Halls of Wolf Lodge. The Hells know her as the one that got away. The North knows her as the Lago. Known in the Northeast as Aeto Gambler. There may be other secret names, to which I dare not give utterance.
I like that. Take a bonus dice for one of your rolls that you see fit to.
You're too kind to me, thank you.
All right. Before we get started, what does Florida M.E.N. stand for this week?
Oh, I thought it was consistently going to be makes everybody nervous.
It can be if you'd like. I wanted to know if there was something you're particularly feeling.
If things go as planned this episode, makes explosions nice.
All right, I like it. When we last left the Sunshine State, the Florida Men were left in the darkness. How did our heroes end up in such a precarious position? Well, to start, the gang was summoned aboard the ship of one Bootstrap Bill, the young pirate with an old soul. After a long discussion about proper line etiquette and the surrounding superstitions therein, our men sat down with Little Billy to discuss their mission. It was there that they met Bristol Tooldeals Myers, Billy's first mate and enforcer. Captain Bill gave the men the option of which to tackle first, food or water. Water would take them to the top of the wastelands, where the filtration system atop the mountain was located. The men instead chose food, which was delivered automatically weekly to the back entrance of the utility tunnels below. Unfortunately, whereas before the food had been split amongst the various tribes of the park, now a cadre of costumed cast members had blockaded the entrance and kept the entirety of the food stores to themselves. Billy brought the men down to the tunnel entrance, and he told Bristol to go with them. Two Deals protested, explaining his preference for living to dying in a glorified basement. Myers helped the men disassemble and reassemble their golf cart, and the collective crew went on their way. Once in the tunnels, the men made the decision to ignore the job at hand and make a beeline for their real target, Walter. Almost immediately, the cast made their presence known as a costumed Mother Ducker popped out of the shadows and began running down the tunnels. The Florida men made hot pursuit, crashing into the Mother Ducker with their cart, injuring her severely. Lane then proceeded to brutally murder her, first by attempting to slit her throat and finding only fabric, and then finishing the job for good. The next obstacle facing our four friends was a makeshift garbage cannon, firing towards the cart as it moved through the tunnel. Something, or someone it seemed, was watching them. Lane tied the cannon to the wall, giving the men space enough to drive around safely. Safety wouldn't last long, however, as a haunting tune began to echo through the chamber. A host of ballroom dancing spirits appeared, dressed in Victorian attire and cascading across the tunnels. Bristol punched one ghost, and he punched it good. Lane and Tawny, however, struggled to deal with the remaining specters, with Tawny being lifted into the air by the dancing phantoms. Fisher, thinking quickly, turned the cart's battery into a makeshift EMP, dispersing the ghosts but leaving the men in the dark. And that's where we find ourselves now. The EMP triggers, sending an explosive wave of sparkling blue-green energy through the air, evaporating the Victorian assailants and shutting off all the lights in the area. Despite the darkness, Bristol catches the falling Tawny before she can hit the ground. You hear them both fall to the ground hard. For a moment, there is quiet, and then the sloppy, guttural snarl of a wild animal. Tawny, you can feel the hot breath on your face, the spattering of wet drops of saliva. You can smell the musk of carrion, the sweetness of honey. Before you can move, a bright red light fills the space. It's disorienting at first, bright and sharp in your eyes. You then hear a disaffected man's voice. Stop where you are and drop any weapons you may have on your person. You're trespassing on Lantern Corp private property. Please state your name, rank, and serial number so we may contact your corporate entity, collective, or community. Your eyes adjust and you see before you a lithe, bedraggled man with angular features, large eyes, and a matted black hair beneath a backwards baseball cap. He is astride a massive two-toned yellow and red bear with an owl, which you quickly gather is the source of light, on his shoulder. Kangawat, just get the lights powered up. Togogo, Pooh Bear, watch for any sudden moves. The Kangawat hopes over to the wall, where a taseroo emerges from its pouch. The pair plug their tails into the wall, and suddenly, the lights come back on. What do you do?
Maintenance. We had a work order down here. There was we were here to repair the food distribution system, but when we got attacked by some of them, they are ghosts. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Fisher Price, and I holster my plunger cannon and offer him a handshake.
Mr. Price, you do realize that you're now on Lantern Corp territory, don't you?
Oh, I do. I reach into my pocket. As you see here, I pull out my expired security clearance from when I worked with Famous Family, who was a direct affiliate of Lantern Corporation. As you can see, I am a technician trained with the Famous Family, and I was sent down here to help you guys with your situation. I am a licensed Lantern Corp consultant and contractor.
Roll. Let's see. It's going to be deception. So, I always forget what they call these stats.
I mean, your socials are sway, consort, and command. A sway is what I usually go for when you lie.
Go, give me a sway roll.
4.
On a mixed success, he takes one look at you and he says, Donk Prussian, head up and pick up that man's papers and bring them back here. And you see a very sad donkey walk over to you and open its mouth for you to place your papers inside.
All right, I place my papers in the donkey's mouth.
At that point, that's when you notice that Bristol Two Deals Myers is nowhere to be seen.
2 Deals?
That little shit go.
Wait, did you say 2 Deals?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was our security detail.
Oh, Billy knows they're not supposed to be sending those kids down here. You went and talked to Billy before you came down here? All right. All of you. I need all of you to come with me right now. we'll hash all this out inside the command center. Look, you can call me. I mean, my name's Lieutenant Commander Reginald Robin, but most everyone calls me Red.
Yes, sir. We'll definitely do that. What's the plan, guys?
Why don't you all start by rolling me a survey or a history?
There is no history.
My 1 in survey did no good. I still rolled a 1.
That's a 2 for me.
I got a 6 in survey. Boogie boogie for the win.
Lane, you notice that Red Robin is not really paying attention to what's going on. He seems completely distracted by everything that's taking place, and he seems like he'd rather be anywhere else than where he currently is right now. You also notice on his teal blue overalls a bright golden patch in the shape of a pentagon. Those among you who watch the Children's Fighting League, in the Adult Fighting League for that matter, would recognize this as a member of the Pentad, which means that this individual has risen to the highest ranks amongst all of the competitors in the league. And in fact, he is one of the people that you need to defeat in order to call yourself champion of the league.
Oh, I get the reference now.
It's always what you want your pop culture references to be, to have a response to. It's just you up in here. That I know that thing.
Unfortunately,
That's the response I get all the time, and I usually find it satisfying, to be honest. It's because he's trainer Red. He's a Pokemon trainer. His name is Red.
Oh, okay. I know enough Pokemon. I know that one.
Oh, you're Red. I remember watching your famous match against Raymore Flanagan.
Yeah, and now I'm down here in the basement of this theme park where nobody can see me do anything. But the boss said it was incredibly important. So, that's what they need me to do. Like a good little soldier, that's where I'm gonna be. Alright, everyone, grab your stuff off the... Yep.
Which boss is this exactly? Is it one of the Lantern Corp execs, like Procter and Gamble, or are you talking locally like this Walter fella I keep hearing everyone talk about?
When you hear him say, roll me... that's not going to work, and that's... I'm at either finesse or... No, finesse is not in that regard. It's social. So roll me sway.
All right. Boop. 6.
He hears you say Walter, and his eyes, which are already too large for his face, go wide. He's about 40% eyeball at this point. Okay. That's what we're dealing with here. Okay, yeah, come with me. You need to go first, however. Otherwise, I don't know if I can trust you yet, but just lead the way. We're going to go about 2 clicks to the left, and then 1 click up north, and then we'll be at the command center. So lead ahead.
Sure, is it dangerous? Should I unholster my weapon?
No, I have enough firepower to take care of anything that may come and bother us down here. It's really quite insane that they give animals with the powers of weapons of mass destruction to children, but I know how to use them safely and carefully to avoid any collateral damage. Rest assured, anything that I want to kill, or I want to hurt, or I want to stop, will get hurt or killed or stopped, and only that.
Alrighty then. I flip my duffel bag over my bag and just holster my plunger gun. And you see me like gathering up 1,000 tools. I make like this whole production of picking up 1,000 things. I just unloaded half my bag to build this EMP.
Jim?
Yes?
I have a question, and it's both for now and just ongoing. Imagine I'm asking this every 30 seconds.
Yes.
Was I just lied to at all?
Oh, yeah. He has absolutely no idea what's going on. He really hasn't been filled in on anything, and he's making everything up as he goes along. He also does not necessarily have as fine a control over the animals as he would like you to believe.
Excellent. Thank you so much for this information.
Anytime. That's what we're here for.
Can I just real subtly elbow Lane.
I just look at you and be like, what?
He is full of shit.
Yeah, I figured that. They
Okay.
always are.
All right. I'm sure Fisher-Price doesn't believe him anyway.
Above game, Fisher-Price is looking for his opening.
Okay.
So the three of you walk slowly in between the pack of animals. You see a Kangawat with a Taseroo inside its pouch. There is a Tagogo, which is a tiger on a pogo stick, bouncing slowly up and down inside the water. You see the alarmist on his shoulder, the Pooh Bear, which is about a yellow, half red bear, color blocked in exactly the way that you think it would be, the size of a horse. So imagine if a bear was as tall as a horse, but yet the same girth as a bear. And the final animal, which is a tiny little teacup pig named Propaganda. He's holding the little teacup pig in his arm, like the crook of his arm.
We are walking through basically a sewer system, yes?
Correct.
At any point during this walk, do we walk under any of those like really big overhead ventilation fans that kind of swirl the air to keep it circulating?
Give me a survey roll.
All right. 4.
Mixed success. There is one of those fans, but it is non-functional.
Oh, that's terrible for the circulation. That's gonna make the smell down here terrible. You want me to fix this up real quick?
No, not in the slightest. It smells terrible down here, whether or not that thing is working. And at that point, he reaches inside of his jumpsuit and pulls out a bottle of tonic and starts chugging it, like with a speed and a fervency that you would not expect.
Can I clap while he does it?
I mean, you're more than welcome to go ahead and clap. Clap. What are you applauding for me for drinking this stuff? I'm just making sure that I'm well taken care of before we head into the command center. I'd offer you some, but I don't have an extra on me right now. I'll see what we have back there.
Yeah, looks like you need all of it. That's really something.
Well, I've grown accustomed to this stuff at this point. You know, it tastes awful, but, you know, you feel better when you take it. And really, that's what's important, isn't it?
Is it?
All right, so you continue upwards, and you see a large iron door. Think the front of a castle, you know, one that has the big circular rings around it on the door knockers. He walks over to a keypad, hops down off the Pooh Bear, keeping the owl and the pig at his side, and enters in a complicated numeric sequence into the keypad, and the door, you hear the big lock go ka-konk and unclicks. And he pulls the door open and he says, all right, everyone, come on inside. Try to stay to the left. I think that might be the best spot for you to be in. Now, I'm going to warn you, as you walk in here, you're going to feel a little weird for the first, 5 minutes or so. Don't worry, it goes away. You get accustomed to it, but you're going to... It's very disorienting when you come in here.
And that's why the tonic?
Yeah, the tonic keeps me from being affected by, larger spirits and the like. There's this idiot who lives up in paradise. He sells this stuff, and he claims that it helps you with indigestion. But really what it does is it doesn't do any of that whatsoever. It still makes your stomach, it actually kind of hurts your stomach. But what happens is when you drink it, spirits aren't able to affect you to the capacity that they would otherwise. It actually insulates your mind, insulates your soul from the things that they're able to do. It's he doesn't know what he has on his hands.
I remember when Nathan developed that. The problem is he waters it down with grain alcohol,
Nathan. And he tosses you the bottle.
What's on the label?
And the bottle says, Dr. Winston Thoreau's terrific tummy trouble tincture.
Of course it does.
Winnie's making stuff now. I remember little Winnie.
That's when the bear comes up and nuzzles you.
Oh, not you. But I I do offer the bear, I reach into my thing and pull out a snack for the bear.
The bear sniffs it, and you see him go, "Don't feed him. Please don't feed him."
I put some jerky back in my pocket.
Yeah, I just turn my head while the bear is sniffing. Is it after midnight or something? Does he
No,
grow bigger or something?
it's just this is a very dangerous animal. He's on a very strict regimen, and it's like any athlete before competition. If they go off their regiment, then things start to fall apart and they start to lose all their muscle mass. Listen, I have him on a very strict clean diet. Please do not feed my bear.
So I'd like to point out that at no point did I move my hand with the food in away from the bear.
The bear licks the food up and just eats it from your hand without any...
Oh, I'm so sorry.
God, All right, listen. If you're going to be here and you're going to follow all the instructions that I give you, do you understand?
I say the word yes while shaking my head no.
No. Do you understand? You're saying yes, but your head is shaking back and forth no.
Maybe.
Yeah, yes, I understand, and I continue shaking my head no.
No, this is where this is confusing, because what you're doing with your body contradicts the thing that you're saying with your head.
Oh no, that's just a nervous tick. Don't worry about that.
Are you shaking your head up and down as you say, don't worry about that?
Yes, I am. Also, I do reach into my bag, and I'm like, here, I don't have anti-spirit tongue, because that stuff is expensive. I have these, and I give everybody a hat made out of tinfoil. Also meant to ward mind-altering spirits. This has no mechanical impact. This is just what Fisher thinks will help.
Did you make these?
Oh, yeah!
These are so good.
You want one for, your bear friend? I have a ton of them, Red, if you want some for your bear friend, your owl friend, your pig friend.
There is nothing I would like less than to have one of those tinfoil hats. And please do not give them to my animals.
Oh no, I wasn't offering you one. You have the tonic. You're fine.
You are... you remind me of somebody. You remind me of a good friend of mine who always used to drive me crazy. And I'm going to have to put that aside, push that right down into my stomach and not think about that anymore. Everyone, please come inside.
I pull out a bottle and offer it to him.
What is that?
This is just a bottle of tonic. No big deal.
I'm good. I'm not taking anything from you. I myself am also on an... All right. Everyone come inside, please.
Lane goes inside.
Okay.
All right. We're going to do a little something out of the ordinary here. If your character had a good upbringing, a happy childhood, roll 2d6 and take the higher. If your character thought their childhood was neither fine, bad, good, it was just an unremarkable childhood, roll 1d6. And if you hated your life growing up, roll 2d6 and take the lower.
I rolled 1d6 and got a 4.
I rolled 2d6 for a bad childhood, but I got 2 5s.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I figured I'd go with the good childhood so we've got a good mix. And I got a 5.
Those of you who rolled a 4 or higher, I want you to tell me what is your most pleasant or happiest childhood memory. It's like in I forget what show it was, but when all of a sudden there's that tunnel rush and you just go inside of a character's head? That is exactly what is happening to the three of you as you walk inside this room.
So we're having a hot dog gas thing again?
Yeah, except it's very specifically your happiest memory and not just an arbitrary memory.
Yes, I less of a flashback and more of an informational statement.
All right, so Fisher's happiest memory is when he was a kid. As most kids do, he worked in the Eternal Carnival or whatever. Because he would grow up in Paradise, it was the Eternal Carnival. And he worked on the machines in the carnival. What he did was he got praised by his big boss because he was so good at rigging all the machines to when only people win when the carnies wanted them to win. And because that they let him have his pick of the prizes that no one could actually win fairly through the games.
And what do you know offhand what that prize would be?
His first Tamagotchi.
Of course it is, goddamn you.
Yeah, an antique Tamagotchi, the original one. Whichever one I said was his favorite last time, I don't remember.
Lane, you see down in the bayou of Louisiana, actually. And you just see her out in the woods and swamps, and ghosts of several kids around her. It seems like they're her best friends, and they're playing hide and seek in the swamps and whatnot, just having fun.
Remember, you had the happiest childhood.
Yeah, okay, I think Tawny's happiest memory is following some of the worst days, but she, skipped town and started a new life and realized problems don't matter, you can just leave them. And has felt so powerful ever since.
All right, thank you, everybody. You snap back and find yourself in a brightly lit hexagonal room. What strikes you the most immediately upon entering the room is a large cylinder made of thick glass, filled with crackling green energy. There's swirls of white light and bright plasma bubbles that are exploding inside the chamber. Think of it as a lava lamp, but made of electricity, if that makes sense. Like there is an arc and a current to it rather than the viscosity of a lava lamp. You see a nebbish little man with buck teeth and glasses sprint up to Red as he pulls his animals back inside their balls, and he's like, Sir, I just got the readings from today, and you're gonna need to see this right now. And he's like, Rabbit, what? Not right now. Just, we have visitors. Can you just put the notes on my desk? I'll take a look at them momentarily. And he hands Rabbit your credentials and says, Rabbit, I need you to go run these for me. Head over to the panel, run those, and let me know what you find out. He's like, oh, yes, sir, Lieutenant Commander, sir. And he heads to the back behind the tube.
So I asked for clarification. So all the other animals are inside of their little prison spheres, except Rabbit, and Red is just waiting for Rabbit to run the credentials.
No, Rabbit is not an animal. Rabbit is one of his fellow coworkers.
What is the population of this room otherwise?
Sure, the population of this room otherwise, there are the three of you. There is Lieutenant Commander Red Robin. There is the little man named Rabbit. And there is a tiny teacup pig that is sitting on the floor directly in front of you, named Propaganda.
All right, so the jig's going to be up the second Rabbit runs those credentials, because I am hella fired from the famous family. So what I want to do is, when Red hands Rabbit the credentials and Rabbit walks away, I would like to, when Red turns back to face us, go, pocket sand, cha-cha-cha! And I would like to throw my trance powder in his face.
Yeah, you can go for that if you would like.
All right, so that's probably a skirmish roll.
That would be a skirmish roll. I can also hear an argument for finesse.
Well, I rolled a 6, so I successfully throw trance powder, which is a not particularly well-described drug, probably meant to lure him into some sort of dream-like state where he's brain dead, basically, is my gathering from the name trance powder.
Wait, did you just say brain dead?
Trance powder seems like it would put him in some sort of daze, don't you think?
Yeah, like a haze.
Those don't seem like synonyms.
Not literally brain dead, just...
Yeah, figuratively brain dead.
Yes, I was going to say it didn't seem like it would just murder the man outright.
No, not that. Not literally brain dead. I feel like his brain is not there while he's under the effects of
He's
the trance
high as a freaking kite.
There we go.
Okay, so you're throwing trance powder at a person who was just taking drugs to help him keep his mind clear.
Yes.
Alcohol, but yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, the alcohol was specifically to ward off spirits, not to keep, like, the way he described it sounds like it's very much he doesn't want spirits messing with his mind.
Gotcha. So you throw the trance powder into his eyes, and you hear him yell, "God damn it! I knew I shouldn't have trusted you!" Ugh. And he falls to the ground, and he's, like, clawing at his eyes, and it doesn't make an immediate move. He doesn't seem stoned, but you can't tell other than him being upset or frustrated. You can't tell what the effects on him are at this point in time.
I nod to Lane to just arm him of his little Pokemon friends, and I leveled the plunger gun at Rabbit.
I try to get the Pokemon balls away.
In your head, you hear, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." And you hear the little pig go,
Can I throw a knife at the pig?
Jeez.
"Yeah, you can try to go ahead, give me either a finesse or a skirmish to throw a knife at a psychic pig." This is going to be risky limited.
We have tinfoil hats, it's fine.
That was a 1.
Okay. I'm going to give you a devil's bargain here. You can hit the pig with the knife. But if you do, you will also be out of commission for the remainder of the scene. And you're going to take a level 2 harm. Alternatively, you can dink the knife off the glass and suffer no consequence and continue to move again.
I will just dink it off the glass.
Okay, so you go to throw the knife at the pig, and with its eyes flash a brilliant yellow, and you see the knife move. Your aim, which is normally perfect, it would have hit it directly between the eyes, but it uses its psychic powers to push it to the side, so that way it dinks right off the glass in the center of the room. Tawny, how would you like to move?
Good question. I will follow my friend's lead and dive at the pig. Can I get it in some kind of hold?
Pigs, which are notoriously known for being able to catch and round up.
Yeah, wrestle a psychic pig.
I guess it's not a greased pig.
No, it don't matter, greased or not.
I was gonna say Queen kind of knows what I'm getting at here.
I didn't ask if it'd be easy. I said that's what Tawny would do.
Okay, yeah, sure. Give me a risky. This is gonna be risky limited. This is skirmish.
Do you think an argument could be made for finesse?
No, you're trying to wrestle a pig.
That's fair.
That sounds like a skirmish to me.
It might even be wreck.
Ha! Ha! Nice try. I rolled 2, and the lowest is a 5.
Okay. You dive on the ground, sliding on your stomach towards the pig. It's too busy occupied with trying to prevent a knife from going into its brain, and you manage to wrap your arms around it. You're holding a tiny teacup pig in your arms, and it's very, very cute, but it is also very, very dangerous. At this point, Rabbit is going to run back over and attempt to intervene. But before Fisher Price, what would you like to do?
Well, I had leveled my plunger gun at Rabbit to make it clear he was being held at gunpoint. Does he not show any heed to my plunger gun?
He actually looks at you and says, "A plunger? Are you kidding me? What's that even gonna do?"
I pull the trigger and fire my unique weapon.
Give me a hunt.
That is a 6.
You hit Rabbit directly in the face with the plunger, and he does the thing in a comedy where the plunger's on his face and he's trying to pull it off, and it looks really silly.
Yeah, there's more where that came from. And then I reached in my belt and I pull out the grenade I threatened Bristol with earlier. I say, "Okay, here, little piggy, we can do this the clean, victimless way." I just bend over and I hold the grenade over Red's mouth while he's fumbling with the powder in his eyes, or I blow your friend's brains out.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question above board because
Okay.
the pig is psychic. The pig, much like Tawny, knows if you are lying. Are you intending to blow Red and everyone else in this room up?
Oh, I'm gonna put the grenade in his mouth so it just explodes his head like that one scene from Doctor Strange where Wanda explodes the one guy's head by making him talk. It's gonna be a very limited explosion inside this guy's skull.
Strong jaw on that guy.
Okay, give me a... I knew you all were insane. I didn't realize you were that insane. Give me a...
I'm playing a madman with a tinfoil hat and a plunger gun. What part of him did you think?
command roll.
All right, I have no dice in that. A 4 and a 1 for a 1.
I'm going to give you a devil's bargain.
Okay.
Because I think those are fun. You can have the grenade blow up in your hand and take off your right arm. Or the pig can throw you across the room and you can take a level 1 harm of thrown or chucked, depending on your choice.
If the grenade blows off my arm, is it also blowing off Red's head?
No.
That's not much of a devil's bargain. There's no benefit to taking the first one.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's not really much of a devil's bargain. I'm just kind of letting you pick your poison at that point. Yeah, it will also kill Red in that regard. You can kill Red, but lose your... Okay, so you're going to lose your arm.
I lose my arm. Oh no! Ow! I'm bleeding profusely.
Oh,
Fuck,
no.
that hurt.
As he went to
Shit!
put the grenade in the mouth, it blew up prematurely.
Correct.
Man, I'm gonna have to build a new arm. That's gonna suck. And I reach into my bag and I pull out another arm. I'm gonna go ahead and mark a level 2 arm for lost arm.
Yep. Lost arm, or mostly armless.
Enjoy what you're hearing? Rate us on your favorite podcatcher. Reviews on platforms like Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods help new listeners find our content. It's a completely free way to support the show. Thanks for listening.
Most folks don't realize it, but the world is ripe with monsters. And when you have a monster problem, you need someone who is smart.
I came over here, I saw that there was a crime scene. I figured, I'd park here on the
Crime scene.
Brave.
It's just not our fight. We just honk the horn, everybody dissipates, and we just ride away.
And qualified.
If nobody is going to assist David with this, he is going to pull out his nunchucks.
Who gave him those nunchucks?
Van Helmen's family is none of those things, but they're the best we've got, so check them out on Monster Cafe. Available now wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Yeah, so wow, that happened. Not expecting you to take that bargain. All right, so Rabbit says, "What the fuck was that? What happened? What was that an explosion? Oh no, what's going on?"
That doesn't sound nearly muffled enough for a man with a plunger on his mouth.
Gonna say we could do that in post, but that was way better than...
No, I think it's better to have the take we can hear it, and then no, this is what it sounded like. But for the audience, there's the clear quote.
Yeah, no, I take direction well. What can I say? You are currently out of an encounter at the moment, without a trainer to control it. Propaganda reverts back to a more animalistic state. It doesn't quite know what's going on. It loses some of its intelligence, some of its sentience. Rabbit's been incapacitated. The propaganda is now being cuddled by Miss Tawny Wildcard, and Fisher is lying there bleeding with a missing arm. What do y'all want to do?
Does there seem to be an empty Pokemon ball around?
Just the one that is on... actually, give me a survey roll. You're supposed to roll things.
That's a 2.
On a 2, you know there's one on his belt, but that's the only one that you can really think of.
I grab it and try and put the pig in it.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do so. You remove the ball from the belt, and it goes back into the ball, and you now have
A psychic pig.
not only a psychic pig, but you now have a ball, a belt with 6 combat critters on it. The odds of them listening to you are pretty low, but if you decide to train them up, then someday maybe you too could be a member of the Pentad. It's a very effective team build, as you can see.
Can one of you help the hold things while I build myself a new arm while the other one ties up Rabbit?
I have no first aid knowledge at all, so...
No, I just need you to hold things while I operate. Because I can't hold something while I operate my tools. I just need you to hold stuff.
I'll help him, because I'm out of rope to tie that dude up. I used the rope back in the hall.
Okay, I've got rope for some reason.
I would like to take stress to roll Tinker to build myself a replacement arm out of the random junk in my bag.
Yeah, go for it.
And me helping him, I would stress to take an extra die.
You got it.
Alright, so normally I would have minus 1d, but I get plus 2d, so I'm rolling 3d because I have 2 in Tinker.
Now we're gaming here.
The best result is a 6, 6, 4, 1.
Describe the arm that you have built for yourself.
I basically took 2 long tools, I started like a sledgehammer or something, kind of like attached it to a ball joint. It's like a very crude version of Max's original arm in campaign 1. And then I kind of like took a couple of precision tools, like needle nose pliers and like a precision screwdriver, and I kind of made rudimentary fingers out of it. It can grip things. It won't be the best, but I still have my dominant hand for precision work. I just need a hand for balancing work.
Sure, you may take a D here and there depending on what it is you're trying to do, but you also may get a D here or there depending on what you're trying to do, because you do have a cool improvised weapon on your arm as well.
Yeah, I'll also say, because it's just an arm, I also just mounted my plunger gun on the arm like a Mega Man cannon.
Oh, this show.
This is the second silliest thing I've heard so far this week. All right, so you apparently have complete and total control of this central control room. Let me give you a quick tour. This is a hexagonal room with exits to the north and the south. On the northeast wall, there is a long, tall wall of binders, books, and file boxes. On the east wall is a massive punch card computer, the kind that you would see back in, I believe it was like the 1960s, 70s, like the ones that require you to actually manually punch holes in a card and then feed it through a machine, and then it would give you like a ticker tape back.
50s and 60s.
50s and 60s. The southeast corner is a giant mountain of the tincture bottles that you saw him drinking previously. To the southwest is a card table with a deck of playing cards on top of it. On the west wall are 2 bunks, one you would assume for each of them. And in the northwest, there is a communication station with a shelf of lockers above.
Alright, so you said there's like a ticker tape computer?
There is a ticker tape computer, yes.
I would like to tinker with it to see what I can learn about Walter and his whereabouts.
Sure. Give me a tinker roll.
Alright, do I still have my minus 1d for the lost arm, or is that functionally mitigated?
It's functionally mitigated at the moment.
A 5 and a 6. Hot dice.
On a 6, you take the pile of cards that were right next to the computer, and you feed the first one in. What pops out on the tape is a readout of electrical signals, essentially telling you how much power is being pulled into this facility from the outside, and how much power is being pushed out of this facility from the inside. That was what the first card told you.
Can I intuit anything about that based on the energy readings or anything?
You can intuit that the way that electricity works, right? That there's a certain amount of wattage or ampage. I'm not an electrical engineer. I don't understand how that works. That can flow through a particular set of circuits before causing a problem. This should have been way past that point already. You, as an engineer, would know that the amount of electricity that's coming into this park should be enough to quite frankly, cause a series of minor and or major explosions. And the amount of electricity that's being pushed out should be enough to do the same. But for some reason, something is filtering that electricity to make it so that there are no problems.
Do I get the impression it's the electrical thing in the giant vacuum tube in the center of the room?
That would be safe to intuit.
Hey, electrical tube, I don't suppose you're Walter.
You're talking to an incorporeal...
I pull the plunger off the now tied up rabbit. Is that thing Walter?
He spits in your face and says, I'm not telling you shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, hold on a second. And I shove the handle of my plunger into his mouth and just wiggle it around in his jaw for a little bit. Like, you see what I did to your friend? I won't fail to put the grenade in your mouth.
Doesn't matter. It's over anyway. Without Red to help control what's happening, we're all doomed.
I walk over and I'm like, so what is happening? Maybe we can fix it.
I said, I'm not telling you shit. Lady.
Do I see, like, a little gardening area that he might, like, maintain? Something like that he makes him happy?
Give me a survey roll.
All right, survey. I have 1 in that, so let's see. That is a 4.
With a 4, you see a very depressing looking cactus on one of the bunks. Like, it's one of those things where it looks like it's droopy and the needles have all fallen off and it looks it's very pathetic looking.
I kick over his cactus.
What are you doing that for? Come on, you've already killed us all.
Yeah, well, if you don't want the cactus to get it.
As he does that, I look at him and I'm like, I can take you somewhere out into the open to where you could go and grow a big garden in the sun. But you gotta tell us what's going on.
No one? Lady, what do you know about Lantern Corp?
Not much. I stay out in the bayou and the glades.
If Lantern Corp wants you dead, you're dead.
Really? I scan my credentials in the computer, and he sees my security clearance and how dead Lantern Corp wants me.
Roll me a spy.
All right. That is another 4.
So what does that have to mean for anything? I mean, you've only been gone for what, like a couple years?
Yeah. Excuse me. I am the de facto leader of the Florida M.E.N. Have you not heard of us?
No. Why should I have heard of you?
We are the most terrifying paramilitary/mercenary organization in the greater Florida estate area.
That's incredibly specific.
Well, if we operated out of another state, we wouldn't exactly be the Florida M.E.N, would we?
I mean, you could be from Florida and operate in other areas. I mean, it doesn't change the fact of where you're centrally located.
We've already got the fact that we're not men. It's just, we're happy with the name.
Yeah, that's really confusing.
No, it's an acronym. It makes everyone nervous.
Yeah, but that's not clear when you explain it to them. Like, in writing it would be clear, but when you explain it to them, it's not clear.
That's why we're trying to minimize confusion. By being very specific.
Listen, everything you want to know can be found here. Just leave me be.
I mean, if you make this expedite for us, it would be much to our benefit, as opposed to me operating this very slow computer.
There are 6 walls in this building. Which one would have the information on it?
Biggest one?
Number 4?
Why are there 6?
The one with the because the room is shaped like a hexagon.
No.
So there are 8?
No, that's an octagon.
Yeah, but floor and ceiling.
Well, no, you see, it's a misnomer, because a hexagon actually means it's used for arcane magics.
No, that's a pentagram.
But you hex people with a hexagon.
No, you...
Is this one of those square rectangle things?
A square tangle, if you will.
Why couldn't you have put the grenade in my mouth instead?
All right, fine. I would like to roll sway to convince him I'm doing that, but just shove a random rock roughly the size and shape of a grenade in his mouth.
Go for it.
All right, I rolled a 3. He is unconvinced, but now there is still a rock in his mouth. Probably a clump of dirt is more accurate.
He says this very clearly tastes like a rock. And this is very clearly the dirt in my cactus.
I put the plunger back on his mouth. Okay. I guess we just roll survey to figure out if what's going on with this thing.
Yeah, give me a survey roll.
Fucking 2. I have 1 point in this. It's not doing me any good.
Mark experience.
3 more failures and I'm okay.
Would anyone else like to roll survey?
I will. I at least have 1 pip in it. That's a 3, so nope.
Nope, you're looking around and you are not quite sure. You're lifting up the mattresses and the beds. You're looking through the bottles of tonic. You're not finding much of anything.
Riley, you might as well.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. That's a 2.
Fisher's doing the bit. You're doing the bit. Tawny's doing the bit from Zoolander where she's like, the computer. The files are in the computer. You go to
Fine. I'll go back. I will. No, don't smash it. I got it. I go back to tinkering with the computer to get the information because I'm good at that skill. 2 4s!
That is a mixed success. And on a mixed success, you go... What do you type into the computer looking for the information?
I just type Walter's name.
You get a feedback that says classified... ... Subject is found... ... Classified... ... For further information, look at the binder labeled Project Walter.
Is there a binder?
There's a whole wall of binders and books and file boxes.
I don't do manual reading. You two find the binder labeled Project Walter.
Fine, I'll look, and I'm pushing myself.
I feel like we don't actually need to do survey to read the spines on a bunch of binders.
You don't need to do survey to read
okay.
the book. You find the book labeled Project Walter, and it's very surprising that a clandestine organization would place such a clear and large amount of information about some of the illicit schemes that they are trying to do, as Lantern Corp has appeared to do here. Project Walter was created when they managed to find a large ghost or spirit known as a siren, which they have called a siren after the sirens of mythology, which would draw sailors out from the ocean to their doom, towards sharp rocks where they would then crash their boats and cause all sorts of problems. Where Walter is different is that Walter brings feelings of happiness and joy to people, which makes them feel complacent and makes them feel calm and makes them feel at ease. And Lantern Corp wanted to go ahead and figure out a way to weaponize this. So what Lantern Corp did was they attached Walter to their power grid. In doing so, it managed to make the people of the towns that were supplying Walter-laced power to. It managed to make the people in those towns much more complacent, much happier to accept their lot in life, and less likely to protest or cause problems or drama. They just seemed to be satisfied with how things were going. After all, when they had a lot of Walter to watch and a lot of Walter to deal with, they didn't really need to do much of anything else. They didn't need to organize. They didn't need to form unions. They didn't need to do anything else because they always had Walter that they could go back to. Only problem is Walter escaped. He was in containment and managed to make his way out into the world at large and returned back to his ancestral home, to the theme park that he himself founded, and he set up shop there. Lantern, not wanting to let such an valuable asset get away from them, had managed to infiltrate the area and set up shop down there to try to make it so that way Walter would be happy and not want to go anywhere else. And so they hooked their grid up to the theme park, which angered the Steel Corps. There was a slight skirmish, and then an armistice formed between Bastille and Lantern, and that's where we find ourselves now.
Does the binder make it clear where Walter is in the park? Is he the thing in the vacuum tube?
There's a portion of him in the vacuum tube, but for the most part, Walter is centrally located in the castle in the center of the park, exactly where Bastille told you he would be.
Okay. Can I determine via my engineering knowledge the purpose of the random thing in the vacuum tube besides having a part of Walter in it?
They are using this portion of Walter that they have siphoned off to study his readings, and they're trying to determine something about what he's doing while he's down here. Like, what was Walter's purpose? What was Walter's intention? Like, what is the effect that Walter is having on the surrounding area?
Okay. Alright, so this is technically Walter. Do you guys think we could just put this little chunk of Walter into, like, a bottle and give it to Bastille Corps? They're like, okay, cool, mission accomplished.
I kind of want to do just that, because it sounds like Walter was trying to do good, and Lantern Corp is corrupting what he is.
Well, I mean, he also looks like he's causing, like, some sort of problems to this area, like, the ecosystem, because he, like, there's clearly something going on here. I don't know.
But is it him as a whole, or just this part that Lantern Corp is corrupting that's causing the problems?
I don't know, I'm not a ghost expert. I'm more of a sciencey guy. But I do know I do this, and I would like to roll Tinker to build one of the vacuum backpacks that Luigi and his friends have in one of the early episodes of Campaign 1.
Tinker with -1d because your hand is clumsy.
I will take a stress to make it my regular roll.
Can I push to help?
4 into 1.
Oh. I tried to get that out before the result was
Yeah,
said.
you did say it before I said my result. May I roll my bonus dice for Tawny's help?
Sure.
And would I know anything about whether it was this part of Walter that's causing the issues, or Walter as a whole?
As you flip through, you would expect that the version of Walter that you are looking for is probably more like a traditional spirit, whereas this piece of Walter appears to just be his energy, if that makes sense. So it looks as if more that they're scanning the electricity rather than they're scanning the spirit.
And this electricity is what's causing the issues.
This electricity is what they're able to cause that feeling with, yes. It's why when you walked in the room, you felt you had a fond recollection of your childhood.
Alright, so I rolled a 5 with my additional dice from Tawny.
On a 5, you're able to make a ghost vacuum, yes. That is something that... Let's see, on a 5, are you able to make a ghost vacuum? Because as we've established in Campaign Proper, you have to be a spiritologist to be able to do that.
It's complicated. The spiritologist helped develop the technology to make the spirit vacuum. You don't need to be a spiritologist to operate or build one. I worked with the guy who invented the spirit vacuum.
Oh, see, now I know why your backstory is a famous footwear. I see. All right, yeah, you can make a ghost vacuum.
Now, here's the thing. I don't have a good hand for holding this. Which of you wants to operate this spirit capturing vacuum?
Are we just capturing this energy?
The goal here is actually going to be to catch Walter. This is so we can actually, because we're supposed to bring Walter back. But here's the thing. I think if we unbottle this energy, a spirit's naturally inclined, as I understand from my former employer, Mr. Famous Nathan. If you were to release the spirit, it naturally wants to reunite with the rest of its whole. So we could follow this to where Walter is in the castle.
Wait, we just need to release this right now?
In theory, when we're ready to, we can then book it along whatever corridors are here and follow it to Walter.
Okay.
When we're ready.
Then I just take a hammer that's probably in my demolition tools, and I break the glass on that.
No, not yet. Hold on. Wait, when we're ready, you can break the glass. But first, I want to take the bomb that General Mills, motors.
That was General Dollar.
General Dollar gave us that big fucking bomb, and I want to put it on the command center area. What we're gonna do is, I'm going to set this bomb to go off about 60 seconds after we leave chasing this thing. Is there a way out of here? It's not through the sewers?
No, you would need to either head up north or back the way you came.
Alright, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this thing to go off, and I set the timer really far out. We're going to chase the spirit through the sewers to find a way to the castle. And this bomb's going to go off and create a big distraction, because this command center is wired into the electrical grid for the entire park.
Are you sure that the electrical system won't go down as soon as we break this and the spirit leaves?
It's complicated. So my understanding, based on my complicated engineering knowledge, that Walter and the electrical grid are interconnected in such a way where if I disrupt one, we might have a series of large explosions in addition to this large explosion. It's going to go off like happy festival fireworks when we blow this thing up. Also, since there's only one path out, we could just walk down this path and then blow it up, and when it blows up, the Walter spirit will have a head start.
There are two paths out. There's a door to the north and a door to the south. So you do run the risk of Walter going in the wrong direction.
Okay, so I think what we do is we release the vacuum tube thing, yeah.
Or being insubstantial, you run the risk of the energy just taking the straightest path forward, which would be to just go straight up through the city.
All right, so here's what you do, Lane. You just take this vacuum and set it to low, and you're just going to kind of use it to suck Walter so that he stays on a path us corporeal beings can follow. Just kind of like use it like a dog leash.
I have a weird one here that might actually work a little bit better.
Sure, what do you got?
Jim, would I be able to attune to the spirit that's in Walter that is in that thing and possibly have him enter me and guide me to the rest of his spirit?
Anyone can attune. You can always make the request of a spirit, but a spirit is their own individual, and so that may require some additional work, shall we say.
Right. Understand that. I'd like to try that.
All right, roll a tune.
I will help and take another stress.
That is a 5.
That is a 5. That is a mixed success. You're able to connect with this section of Walter. But similar to how the melted ghosts reacted to Winston previously, you're getting a lot of screams and a lot of yells and a lot of moaning and whining and anguish. There's not a lot of consciousness to this portion of it.
Okay. I look at the others and I'm like, this part of Walter's gone. Whatever they're doing to him, they pretty well murdered this spirit.
Yeah, so I think our best bet is to just chase it as it goes to reunite with the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I think the vacuum cleaner leash strategy might still be the best strategy.
Yeah. So we'll try that.
So, like, whatever direction it goes, just kind of steer it towards a path we can follow. So, I think what we do is, there's probably a release on this thing that I can jerry-rig with the controls to open the vacuum tube without shattering it. Because I feel like that would do us an electrocution if we just shatter it with a hammer.
Yeah, that most certainly would have, yeah.
So, I think what we do is we wire the bomb, and I think I remember asking for a remote detonator, now that I think about it.
You do have a remote detonator, yes.
Yeah, so my plan is going to be once we follow this thing far enough and we're safely away, we're going to remotely detonate it and see what the chain reaction of explosions throughout the park looks like.
Have you decided which way you would like to go?
I think the plan is to see which way Walter veers towards and then follow it. My preferred path would be the way we didn't come from. Although, actually, no, now I think about it based on the map, going the back way we came would take us directly under the castle.
You're actually directly under the castle right now. In the
central
control room.
Okay, we will probably end up having to go straight up.
Yeah, so because there's probably not a convenient access hatch with a ladder here, I guess we're going to go the way we didn't come for the sake of exploring somewhere new and exciting.
Okay. Jeez, this is a tough one.
So, order of operations. The bomb is set up. Do we need to roll anything to set up the bomb?
Yes, you need to give me a tinker check to set up the bomb.
Okie dokie. Well, I rolled a 6, so we're fine.
Okay. So tell me where you placed the bomb.
I place it based on what I can observe, the junction of the most electrical points that isn't immediately on top of this vacuum tube.
Okay.
And or the place that would most impact the structural integrity of this room when I blow it up, whichever one looks better to me.
Perfect. All right, you place it right at one of the joists. One of the joists on the ceiling. Everyone give me a quick survey roll.
1. Survey, not my best.
6.
2 again.
Fisher, you're too busy setting up your bomb. Tawny, you've maybe meandered over to the card table and started shuffling a deck. You're not really paying attention to what's going on. Lane, you look over and you see that Rabbit has left the room. He's managed to get himself untied and has managed to run out.
We had him tied up!
I'm like, Rabbit left!
Or Rabbit's not in the chair anymore. Rabbit's not in the chair anymore, I'll put it that way.
Where'd the stupid rabbit go?
Silly Rabbit.
Trickster.
He got me.
Yeah, that is very impressive that Rabbit untied himself without making any noise. This guy was like apparently a stealth operative. It's fine.
7 minutes of audio time.
I mean, he already said he's basically dead. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Okay, so you have a bomb set up with a remote detonator. You have a missing rabbit.
And a vacuum sucker.
We released the vacuum tube via the... Yeah, so Lane is... It's trigger finger on the thing. I press the release to open the vacuum tube on the computer.
You find the punch card for releasing the vacuum tube, and you go ahead and do so. Lane, give me a hunt to try to trap Walter using the vacuum gun.
Okay, I'm gonna push myself.
Can I donate the bonus die?
Yes, you most certainly can.
Yeah.
This is why Riley writes poems every week, because we keep giving them bonus dice.
2 for the better instead of 2 for the worst. That's a 6.
All right. With a 6, you are able to capture a portion of the electricity as it heads north.
All right, we follow it north.
One issue that you run into is that just as the tunnel to the door to the south was locked, the door to the north is locked. You watch as Walter sprints through the iron door, and the vacuum tube, the vacuum gun, I should say, bumps right up against it and goes nowhere.
That's fine. We have a general idea what direction he went, I guess. I would like to tinker to open this door because it is but a computer, and I am but a computer engineer.
Go for it.
That is a 2 and a 5.
Sure. On a mixed success, the doors swing open, but when they do, they push inward. And so it knocks the vacuum back, and Walter starts jetting off in the distance up north.
Can I try and catch him again?
Sure. Hold on one second. So the speed of electricity is close to the speed of light, which is 186,000 miles per second.
So new.
I'm going to say no on that one. It's about 90% the speed of light.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're basically under the castle looking for a path of entrance. Actually, you know what I just realized, everybody? Since Walters flew through the fucking ceiling, we should go back the way we came because that's probably where Bristol is, and we should find them before we blow the hatch on this place.
Just so we don't blow him up.
Yeah. Let's head towards the other path, and once we're a safe distance away, and we're sure Two Deals isn't in the path that's going to get blown up, let's blow this place and reunite with Two Deals, and then see if we can find some sort of like underground access directly into the castle.
Yeah. Maybe if
if not, we just blew a big hole in the castle.
I was going to say, if we blow up directly underneath the castle, wouldn't that be a direct hole into the castle?
Yeah, so worst case scenario, we circle back to the hole we just made. And or the thousands of other holes we create with all the chain explosions from destroying the electrical grid that's very shakily holding together.
Yeah.
I feel like what happens is we march back in the sewer towards where we originally were arrested by Red, for lack of a better word.
Yes.
And once we see sight of Bristol Myers, wherever he is, we push the plunger on the automatic detonator. and explosions start happening as the episode ends.
Oh, do they ever? Okay. Remember earlier when I was talking about how you either prep way too much or you don't prep enough or you prep the wrong thing, and I thought to myself this morning,
You didn't think we'd blow up the place?
I actually thought there was a remote possibility that might happen. But then I was like, no, they're not going to blow up of course, you blew up the castle.
That was always the plan, though. Like, we expressly asked General Dollar for this bomb for this purpose.
Dude, you wanted to set off the bomb outside the park to distract the...
Well, no, the idea was to create a distraction, but the idea very quickly evolved into the one that would be the biggest distraction. Like, originally it was, like, supposed to be... we were looking for a place, but, like, the castle was not off the table.
I'm trying to think of if this requires a roll or not to roll the explosion.
I mean, I could roll Wreck if you want, but you did have me roll Tinker and get a 6 just to set up this bomb.
All right, roll Fortune.
Fortune, that's just a flat D6 roll?
Just a flat D6 roll.
Of course I got a 1.
Okay. So, you set off the main explosion, which, despite the fact that it is far enough away that you are unharmed, you can still feel the shockwave of it rattling through the underground tunnel system. It takes only a matter of 30 seconds before other ancillary explosions start to go off. Oddly enough, to a very familiar tune. You just hear like dish, 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 dish. Each of them just shaking the ground as it goes. You get ready and you prepare yourself. Exactly.
Sorry.
You prepare yourself to progress. No sorries, that was wonderful. You get ready to progress forward and head back to see what the wreckage looks like. When all of a sudden, a large explosion goes off above you, knocking a portion of the ceiling down in front of you. Nobody is harmed, nobody is hurt, but the way back that you were going to take is no longer accessible. If you want to go find Walter, you'll have to take the long way around.
Ah, shit. You think we have time for me to build a rototiller, everybody?
No.
No, damn.
From an outsider, this looks like the explosions here looks like the end of Fight Club, where they're just watching it from watching the city of Manhattan explode from the top of a skyscraper.
I've never actually watched that movie.
I find that very surprising. It doesn't hold up. And standing there at the other end of the corridor with an army of pirates is none other than your compatriot, Bristol 2 Deals Myers. And that's what we'll cut it for tonight.
Yay!
Hey, 2 Deals, tell us everything. What have we missed? Does he seem quieter than usual?
Didn't you guys say you were going to set one off? Glades in Paradise is Paul Kinter as Fisher Price, Justin Langston as Bristol Myers, Queenie as Lane Bryant, M.L. Riley as Tawny Wildcard, and myself, Jim Remis, as Master of Ceremonies. Domi is our editor, and Allison is our producer. You can directly support this show at patreon.com/bardrockcafe, starting at just $3 a month. We've just updated our Patreon rewards, so now is a perfect time to subscribe. Subscribers can join us on Discord, can come play games with us, and receive access to ad-free episodes and an ever-growing library of bonus content. You can support the podcast for free by sharing us on social media, by word of mouth, or by rating and subscribing on your favorite podcatcher. Lastly, you support us just by listening. Thank you for listening, dear friend.